Hey guys, REKLEZ back here again. I'm here with another video, and in this video, I will be talking about the Mortal Kombat Combat Pack. So, I'm going to be discussing characters that I want to see in this pack that'll range from Mortal Kombat characters and guest characters. Now, I don't have a specific number for this list. I just picked out a few names just for this video, so this will not be your typical top 10 video. So I just picked out a couple of characters that I think would be cool, Mortal Kombat and guests, alright? So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go over the Mortal Kombat characters first. Now, like I said, I don't have that many names, so I just picked out a couple of names that I think would be really cool. Just some really cool characters that I think would be cool to have, alright? So just keep that in mind. So yeah, guys, so without further ado, let's get on to this little list. So the first Mortal Kombat character I want to see is Shiva. Now bear in mind, I'm not the biggest Shiva fan, but between her and Sindel, I would much rather have Shiva come back. I'll admit I'm not the biggest Sindel fan. Between these two, I do prefer Shiva. I'll admit that. And also, they already have a model for her in, she was in the story mode. So I think it would be pretty easy if they just take that model and just make it a playable character. And if you think about it, Goro is dead and Kitaro is MIA. So Shiva is like the only Shokan present. And I know her moves might be very similar to both Kitaro and Goro. They all have very similar moves. But I still think she would be interesting to play as. So yeah, guys, so I think Shiva would be pretty cool to have back. And I think her fatalities would be pretty damn gruesome. And I think her skins and gear, I think, could look pretty damn cool. So Shiva, I do want to see come back in the game. Again, not dying to see her, but again, I would much rather have her than Sindel. Alright, so Shiva, I would like to see back. The next two characters on my list, now I put these two guys in the same number. I didn't want to have them to take up space, but these two characters I want to see, and they are Sector and Cyrax. Now, I feel so stupid because when I played the game and I saw the roster, I wasn't even I was literally oblivious to the fact that these two guys were not on the roster. When I played the story mode, I saw these guys and I'm like, oh shit, they brought back Sector and Cyrax. But my dumbass didn't even know that they weren't on the main roster, so I felt very stupid. But nevertheless though, these two guys, I think they should return. They are fan favorites. I love Cyrax and Sector, especially Cyrax. I like him, just slightly more than Sector. And they already have an idea of what their gear could look like. If you go back and you play if you go back to story mode and you see Sector's somewhat upgraded design, like later on, he's got like the red and the white. And I think some people said that he has a little bit of he has like a gold chest plate. I'm not sure. But the point is, he looks different, so they clearly have an idea of what his gear could look like. So why not bring back the Cyborg Ninjas? I think they both would be pretty damn epic. Their gear, I think, would look so sick. And I know they might have similar gear because, I mean, let's face it, they are very similar in a lot of ways. But then again, I do know that I'm pretty sure NetherRealm can make them distinguished. So I do want to see these two guys come back. All right, these two guys are huge. They're obviously over with the fans. So let's see these guys come back. Now the problem is though, they were already DLC in MKX, so I don't see them being DLC back to back. But if they are, that's kind of messed up. But you know what? As long as we get them back, I'm fine. So that kind of does derail their chances, knowing that they were already DLC. But nevertheless, though, I still want to see them back in the game. Now, the next character I want to see is, and now this is a character that I was so disappointed did not come back, and that is my boy Takashi Takeda. In terms of the new faces that emerged in MKX, I think Takeda was literally my favorite new character to break out in MKX, mostly because he is, the new member of the Shirai Ryu, and of course being the son of Kenshi. I thought he was fucking awesome. I mean, I thought his moveset was really cool. His design I thought looked really cool. Personally, I preferred his white outfit, but he still looked pretty good. And he had potential. I mean, I'm not saying he's wasted, obviously, but it just really sucks, though, how they did not bring him back. I really wanted to see him come back, but sadly, he was nowhere to be found. And to my shock, because I didn't even know about this, but to my shock, it turns out that this guy and Jackie are both married. So to me, it's like, okay, if they're married, then why not bring them back to develop their story? We could have had, we could clearly know a lot more about them. I know I stuttered, but I'm sorry. But the point is, though, Takeda, I think, would be really cool to have back. His gear would just look so good. He could wear different masks, give him, hell, they could even give him a ninja costume, you know? They could give him different type of whips, different type of swords, like lightsabers or whatever, because he did have lightsabers, kind of. You know, give him different types of headbands, you know, just like Liu Kang. And I think he would be just fucking awesome to have back, you know? And hell, if they want to, they could maybe even give him Kenshi's blindfold, maybe, I guess. Well, actually, no, that would have made sense because he's not even blind. But, well, maybe. But nevertheless, though, I want to see Takashi Takeda come back. I really hope he does make he does make it back into the game, because again, I feel like, I mean, like Scarlet, you know, Scarlet became an instant fan favorite in MK9 somehow, some way, and she did not come back in MKX, but they brought her back and people were happy. So and I'm pretty sure Takeda, I mean, all those guys became instant fan favorites, kind of. And Takeda was no exception, so I really do hope that he does make it back. But those are my thoughts on Takeda possibly showing up. And the last character I have, and this is a guy that I don't think even needs an explanation as to why I want to see him back, and that is the God of Wind, Fujin. I am praying to a god, no pun intended, that Fujin does come back, because I absolutely love Fujin. I've been a big fan of Fujin not my whole life, but I mostly began liking him in Armageddon, like when he was playable. But I really liked him in MKX with his brand new design. I thought he looked like an absolute beast, and it's a huge shame that he did not return into MKX. And it was even more of a shame how he was not in the main roster. Now, normally I would have thought to myself, okay, he has no chance because Cetrion does have wind powers, and we all know Fujin is all about wind. But then I thought about it, Sub-Zero and Frost both have ice, but their moveset is very distinguishable. Maybe not entirely, but enough to where you can tell the difference. So I do believe NetherRealm are geniuses. I do believe they could find ways to make it work. I want to see Fujin come back. I've always liked Fujin. He's always been one of the most badass characters, being the God of Wind. I think he's just that fucking awesome. And his gear and his costumes could look so good, you know. And I think it would look cool if he had his hair loose, you know, because he's got the white hair. He did have it loose in Armageddon, but I think now it would look even more badass because he does have long hair. So I think that would be cool. But regardless, though, I think Fujin is a must, and I just want to see him back, you know, plain and simple. I want to see him come back. So, I mean, I don't normally get like this. Like, there's not really many things in the world that make me beg for something, but this is one of them. So, I mean, NetherRealm, I will get down on my knees and beg if I have to. Because, again, Fujin, I just love Fujin so much. And if he doesn't come back, I am going to be very disappointed. So, please, NetherRealm, please. Like, hell, if the rest of the guys on this list do not come back, you know what? I'll still be disappointed, but I'll be happy as fuck if Fujin comes back. So, please, NetherRealm, give us the God of Wind. But that was pretty much it for the Mortal Kombat characters. Like I said, not that many names. I just picked out a couple. But those are the guys I want to see from the Mortal Kombat universe. So now, let's move on to the guest characters. So, just like the last list, I picked out a couple of guest characters, not too much. And I picked out two honorable mentions, and I will get to them later. But here we go. So, the guest characters. So, the first character I want to see... So, the first guest character that actually, no, I put these two guys on the same list as well, actually. Like Sector and Cyrex, I put these two guys on the same list because I think they would both be fucking awesome. And like I said, I don't want them to take up two different spaces because they're in the same universe. So I picked out two characters for this spot. And they are, well, the first one is Leon Kennedy. I talked about Leon in a previous list, but I still believe that he would be so fucking awesome. Especially with the Resident Evil 2 remake had just come out. This would be a cool little nod to Capcom, I think. But I think it would be best if they go with the Resident Evil 4 Leon, because I think that's where he really displays his skills. You know, he's very acrobatic, he's very athletic, he's obviously good with hand-to-hand combat. He uses his fucking knife, you know, to perfection, and he's got so many guns, and he's got the RPG, so I'm not gonna talk too much about Leon, but I really do believe his attitude and everything about him, I think would fit in pretty well with the Mortal Kombat universe. I mean, his gameplay I think would be so cool, and his gear, it could range from his alternate costumes from both the original Resident Evil 2 and the remake. They could give him his Raccoon City Police costume. They could give him his Resident Evil 4 outfit, his leather jacket, his costume from Resident Evil 6. So he had like the Wolverine jacket kind of. Overall, Leon I think would be so fucking awesome. His dialogue would be so cool to see, and I think his fatalities would not be the most gruesome, but they could definitely make it work. So I want to see Leon. He has no chance, I'm pretty sure, but I think he would be so badass to see. So yeah, so there is my thoughts on Leon, you know, if he was in the game. And then the next character is Nemesis. I think Nemesis being in the game, now he may not be acrobatic, he may not be good with hand to hand, but then again, so wasn't Jason or Leatherface, or hell, not even Alien. Actually, I don't even think Predator was either. But look what happened. They made it work. So Nemesis, I think, would be fucking awesome. He's got his rocket launcher. He's got his Gatling gun. That's all he needs. That's like all he needs. You know, that's all he really needs to fight. And he does have his tentacles or whatever those things are. Sadly, he would not have any dialogue, but I still think they could make it work. And if you think about it, we don't really have that many big guys in MK11. Yeah, we have Kodo Khan, Shao Kahn, but that's about it. Like, we don't really have any hulking monsters in that game. So I think Nemesis would be a perfect character to put in here to throw into like the heavyweights, I guess. And I think he would be fucking awesome. You know, just hearing him say the stars, I think would be pretty damn cool, and he could have some really good fatalities. So Nemesis, yeah, you know, I think he would be fucking awesome. You know, so yeah, guys. And speaking of Nemesis, I'll probably have a video talking about my thoughts on the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis remake. We've been hearing that a lot lately in the news, so I'll probably do a video about that. We'll see. But the point is, though, yes, I want to see Nemesis. I think Leon and Nemesis would be so cool. And yeah, guys, I think these two guys would be fucking awesome, you know? I mean, how cool would that be, too? Imagine, this obviously would never happen, but imagine if they do put these guys in there, they actually have, like, this really cool stage where they're, like, fighting in Raccoon City. Like, they're fighting, like either in front of the police department or inside. That would be fucking awesome. But yeah, guys, or hell, even in the mansion. But yeah, guys, but these two guys, yeah, I would love to see them. I think they would both be perfect. All right, next up on the list is, now this one I've never actually talked about, like, at all, but I think he would be pretty cool, and that is Chucky. Now, Chucky, okay, this is a little hard to work with because obviously he's short as fuck, but I think Chucky, I think they could make it work. I don't really know how they would do it, but I think somehow, some way they could still make it work. Chucky is no pushover, all right? He is not someone to be fucked with. Maybe he's not a Jason or a Michael or a Freddy, but he can definitely hold his own, as we've seen in all of his movies pretty much. And especially with the Child's Play remake, which is fucking stupid, coming out, I think he would be so fucking, again, good promotion for the film. And by the way, the reason why I think it's stupid is because the last franchise, it ended on a cliffhanger with Andy being locked up. That was fucking dumb. If you want to remake this, okay, fine, but at least finish that shit. But you know what? Whatever though. I'm not gonna go off on that. But anyways, yeah. So I think Chucky would be really cool to have. You know, I think his dialogue would be pretty cool. You know, just hearing his evil ass laugh, and his fatalities could be references to the films. Like, for example, he could even have a fatality where he gets like a voodoo doll. Remember how he did to that one guy in the first film? I think John. He got his voodoo doll. And he was like breaking his limbs, and then like he stabbed him. So that would be cool. So yeah, Chucky I think would be really cool. It's kind of hard to tell how his moveset would be like, but I think NetherRealm can make it work. I mean, they're geniuses. They know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, I think Chucky would be fucking awesome to have. So yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about him, but I think he would be really cool to have. Now the next two guys, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about them because I've talked about them so fucking much. I mean, pretty much everybody has, but I'm gonna explain myself. Obviously, no shit, REKLEZ. But the first guy is Spawn. everybody in their mothers have been talking about Spawn being in the game ever since Todd McFarlane pretty much gave NetherRealm the permission. Everyone has been speculating, will Spawn finally show up? I hope he does. And again, once again, we're getting a Spawn movie with possibly Jamie Foxx, which I'm fucking happy about that, by the way. I think Jamie Foxx is a really good choice. So again, good promotion for the film. I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You know, you have Spawn in the game, and you know, people are happy, and then that's good promotion for the film. You know, so I think it's a win-win. So I think Spawn would be really cool to have. Again, like, he's like everything you could want in a Mortal Kombat character. Like, seriously, if I didn't know who Spawn was, and then they put him in Mortal Kombat, I would have thought he was an actual Mortal Kombat character. I mean, look at him. He's got the design, the powers, the weapons, like everything that he has. It fits right in Mortal Kombat. You know, just everything fits right in with it. You know, so Spawn is definitely a fan favorite, and he's been, you know, people have been wanting this guy for fucking ever. So I really hope he finally does make it back, because again, he would just be so fucking cool. So will he finally show up? I don't know, but you know, we'll just wait and see what happens. But yeah, guys, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about this one, because again, it's so self-explanatory. But yeah, Spawn I want to see super bad. And really quick, I'm gonna get to the two honorable mentions really quick before I get to the last guy. One of them has no chance, but the other I think kind of does. And the first character is Carnage. I think Carnage would be so fucking awesome. His game, I mean, come on, this guy's a fucking psychopath, like more psycho than Venom. I mean, you know, we all know Cletus Cassidy is a psycho. Like, even when he's not Carnage, but when he becomes Carnage, he fucking causes carnage. So I mean, I think he would be just so good. Like, his voice, like, I think his voice is one of the most, like, I'm not one to like fangasm over voices like of characters, but he's got that voice that just sends shivers down your spine. I mean, for example, like, I remember one of my favorite lines of him, it was actually in one of the games where he's like he's talking to Spider-Man, and he's like, "What color do you bleed, Spider-Man?" And then he's like, "Nice try." So let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up for that impression. But yeah, so I think Carnage would be really cool to have. You know, his fatalities could be some of the most gruesome ever, and his dialogue with the likes of Baraka, the Collector, and maybe even someone like you know, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, I think would be really cool and very unique to see. And hell, even Devora, you know, that would be fucking awesome. So yeah, guys, so I don't think Carnage has any chance, obviously, but you know, I think it would still be pretty badass to see him. So yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on Carnage. I think he would be just awesome. I mean, and remember, he could shapeshift, you know, he could turn his arms into weapons and shit like that. So I mean, that right there would be a recipe for success. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Carnage. And then the second honorable mention is the Joker. Now, the Joker, I actually think, has a decent chance, because if you guys didn't see, there was actually a leak talking about the characters that were leaked supposedly, and Joker was on that list. Now, can I see Joker showing up? Absolutely. I mean, especially seeing as how we literally got how many was it? We got like fucking three Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice. We got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden. I think it is fair that we get one DC character in Mortal Kombat. And now people are probably going to ask the question, why not Batman or Superman? You know, they're the poster boys of Injustice. Well, for one, Batman doesn't kill. Yes, I know he's killed, but, you know, they don't kill anybody, so that wouldn't make any sense. Hey, you know what? I'll just say this. I don't want to repeat of Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, okay? I don't want that shit again. The fucking horrible fatalities. But anyways, but Joker does. He's violent. So I think Joker would be really cool. And his gear, I think, is pretty... Sorry. I think his gear is pretty easy to work with, actually. I mean, he could use, like seriously. He could use his, like, they could give him Jared Leto's design, Heath Ledger, hell, even the new recent Joaquin Phoenix, the animated series, Cesar Romero. So they have a lot of good designs for him, I think. His design could look, like, his base design could look pretty cool. I mean, I hope to God that his gear is good, because I'm sorry, Like his base gear in Injustice 2, I thought was really cool. He looked really badass with that hairstyle and the jacket, the trench coat. But his gear sucked ass. Like, I'm sorry, but he had some of the worst gear in the game. I apologize. I don't mean to be a dick, but it wasn't good. Like, I'm sorry, it just wasn't that good. So I'm hoping his gear in this game looks a lot better if he even shows up. So I do believe Joker does have a chance, especially with, again, him being leaked supposedly. So we'll see. You know, we'll see if Joker does show up. You know, his dialogue with the characters, I think I think they could be pretty good. You know, so. And they could have some good references sent here to DC like they did in Injustice with Raiden and Sub-Zero. So yeah, so you know, there's my thoughts on Joker. And now the final character I want to see is none other than Ash Williams. You know, Ash Williams, once again, like Spawn, I've talked about him a ton and a ton and a ton. But to this very, like, throughout all the guest characters that I've thrown in my past videos that I want to see in Mortal Kombat, he still takes the #1 spot because, again, he's got everything that you could ever want in a Mortal Kombat fighter, or you know, I mean, seriously, like, he's got everything. He's got the personality. He's got the boomstick, the chainsaw, just so much shit to him that, you know, again, it fits right into Mortal Kombat. So I mean, I really do believe Ash should finally make it back. I mean, not make it back. I do believe Ash should make his debut in Mortal Kombat. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. Well, I say probably not because Bruce Campbell did tweet out, say he tweeted out himself doing a fatality on the internet rumors. So now but here's the thing though. Now that I think about it though, you never know. Maybe by that he meant that he will not reprise his role, but maybe the character still will. So maybe I don't know, but nevertheless though, I do want to see Ash Williams. He's definitely a fan favorite, and he's been like the most requested guy in Mortal Kombat since like MK9 pretty much. So do I think he'll finally make his debut? I sure as hell hope, man. I really hope Ash Williams finally makes it into Mortal Kombat. But that's pretty much it, guys. Those are all my thoughts on the characters that I do want to see in Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat, and guest characters. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys want to see? You know, all that fun shit. All right, guys. So we'll see what goes down. And I'm very. But you know what? I am happy. Oh yeah, and really quick too. You know, I want to discuss. Actually, no, I'm not gonna discuss Shang Tsung. I was going to discuss Shang Tsung, but all I was going to say was I really hope that they like bring back his like. I really hope for Shang Tsung they bring back his MK2 design, but we'll see though. I love that design of him, yellow and black. But anyways, pretty much it, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below and all that good stuff, right? So I'll tell you guys later. So be sure to click the notification button, like, comment, subscribe, and until then, Reckless Rich, signing out.